Hey, what's up guys? This is Cole with CJC Off-Road. Today we have something a little bit different. We have a very cool truck we built for a motocross athlete. You guys may have heard of him before. So without any further ado, we're gonna head out to the track, let's check out what he does and check out his new build.
What's going on guys? Hey, we're out here at Kauai MX. My name's Ryan Villopoto. Used to race Supercross, motocross for many years. Won a few races. So before this truck, I had a TRX, and prior to that, a lot of Ford Raptors. But I've always needed something to tow a little bit heavier weight. So I decided to get rid of the 1500s and get a Dodge 2500. I use my truck as a daily driver, come out riding with it. If I just come by myself, I just throw the bike in the back of the truck. But if I go riding with the kids, I have a 8.5 by 14 foot trailer, so cabinets, and it's all loaded up. Big generator on the front of the tongue, so it's perfect for that. But like I said, the main thing I was trying to do was improve the street driving of it, but maintain the factory payload, and that's what we did. All right, boys, I'm gonna get out on the track and tear it up.
Now let's get into what we did on this truck and why this is the perfect rig for Ryan's usage. Now, we have a lot of customers come to us and say, hey, how do I put a nice suspension on my truck but still make it usable as a diesel truck? We actually have the perfect option for that in Carli's Pintop leveling system. This system is designed to not only improve ride quality and handling, not only to make the truck more capable on and off-road, but also to retain the truck's factory rear payload capacity. Being that these are trucks intended for towing purposes, things like that, this is a very unique option that we have with these Pintop leveling systems. And it's why it's one of the most popular systems that we sell. Now, we really wanted to make sure that this build checked all the boxes and had every last detail, to the nth degree, basically how we like to build these trucks in-house. So his goals were to be able to use the truck for towing purposes, but also to have a really comfortable street ride taking his kids to school and really just have a nice all-around rounded build. This is actually replacing a TRX, and so we understand the expectations a bit high in terms of how the truck rides and drives, and so we feel in order to deliver that, this Carli Pintop leveling system really was the way to go. For those of you not familiar with the Carli Pintop leveling system, what this system includes in the base kit is front coils that are a lighter spring rate than stock, designed for about 2.5 inches of front lift, basically to level the front of the truck with the back. Last but not least, Carli includes their adjustable track bar. This system out of the box really is designed to basically do what it's intended to do with just the system itself, right? So you are going to improve the ride quality, you're going to improve the handling with just the system as it comes from Carli as a base system. That said, Ryan wanted to go full kill with this thing, so we actually added Carli's torsion sway bar, Carli's fabricated radius arms, Carli's rear sway bar end links to kind of round out the look visually, Carli's diff guard, Carli's high and low mount string stabilizers, and a Thuren rear track bar. Now, none of these additional upgrades are required per se, but even though the Carli system does a great job of improving how the truck drives, there is still more that can be improved. For instance, the torsion sway bar, Pulling in a driveway or driving on an uneven road, it makes the truck feel significantly softer. The stock sway bars on these trucks really are designed for, you know, in-bed sliding campers, things like that. So Carli's sway bar really is a more practical sway bar for most of us, most of our usage, I'd say. Fabricated radius arms, great looking piece from the side of the truck. Not only do they look great, they allow you to add limit straps to the front suspension. And on top of that, they use a custom freely rotating joint setup that, unlike the factory vulcanized bushings that are included in the stock radius arms, allow the suspension to move a lot more freely. Beyond that, Carli's high and low mount steering stabilizers. We have a few videos getting into what the steering stabilizers do on these trucks, but essentially with larger tires like these 37-inch tires we put on this build, they do quite a bit to help minimize steering wheel feedback and help basically the truck feel like you're on stock tires still, but with 37s. These Ram 2500 trucks in the rear, we get a lot of complaints in terms of how they tow, and a lot of that is due to the factory rear track bar design on these trucks. So when you load these things down, as Ryan will be doing with this truck, they tend to get a lot of side-to-side movement. So we went ahead and added Thuren's rear track bar. What this track bar does is actually help to flatten out the rear suspension track bar angle, and it actually runs a longer track bar as well. What this translates to is a much more composed, much flatter feel to the rear of the truck when you're towing heavily with it. Wheel and tires, I may be biased, but I feel that this is the best looking wheel on these trucks available on the market today. These are 20-inch trail-ready simulated wheels in CJC Spec. What CJC Spec means is we custom pre-order these wheels in the right offset and back spacing to function well with 37s, even with only 2.5 inches of lift. So most setups, if you just throw a generic 20-inch wheel on your truck with a 37-inch tire, you have to run like 4, 5, 6 inches of lift to make it work. We did the homework and research with these CJC Spec wheels to allow, 37s to fit with minimal trimming with only 2.5 inches of lift. In our opinion, it's a much better, much more functional look than the typical lift kit on these trucks. To round out the wheel and tire package, we added Nitto Ridge Grappler 37 by 12.5 by 20s. These are one of the most popular tires come through our shop today. Nitto uses a really hard compound on these tires that really helps in terms of durability and longevity. So we get a ton of great feedback from about these tires from customers. Not only that, but they're pretty quiet actually for how aggressive the tread is. So it's easy to see why these really are one of the most popular tires in production today. Now, when you see one of these CJC built trucks on our Instagram, one of the first things you'll notice is the lighting on the front of these trucks. Not only is upgrading light on these trucks really functional, it looks great as well. And so on this particular build, we basically threw the book at it. So it has Baja Design's 20-inch Onyx bar in the front bumper. It has our CJC Off-Road exclusive fog light kit using Baja Design squadron lights up front. Baja Design, as well as Baja Design's rear S2 reverse kit. What this all translates to is substantially better lighting when driving, either off-road or on a dark road at night. At the same time, it makes the truck look great. It kind of helps to round out how the build looks in terms of like a nice off-road look for the whole package. Speaking of cosmetic upgrades, we added our CJC Off-Road Intercooler Guard to the front. Not only does this replace the bulky plastic factory valance that hangs down on these trucks, it is very functional as it not only increases your truck's approach angle, but it helps to protect your intercooler off-road as well. Coming from a TRX, the street drivability of the Cummins probably felt like a bit of a downgrade, believe it or not. So Banks went ahead and threw a variety of upgrades at this to go ahead and help address that. One being their pedal monster. Pedal monster tends to be a great way to improve the truck's throttle response without voiding the warranty, assuming everything's installed correctly and handled correctly. They also included their Idash setup to go ahead and monitor the truck as it's used for towing purposes. And last but not least, they added a really cool looking exhaust setup that's particulate filter back. Nice little black section that really helps to kind of tie the back of this truck together visually. The Pedal Monster really is an improvement in terms of how these trucks drive. It's all seat of the pants feel, so you're not adding horsepower per se, but the way it delivers throttle response really makes it feel peppy and kind of more like a current setup. So being more familiar with like say a half-ton V8 or like a TRX, something like that, it really helps make the Cummins kind of give that similar sort of feel taken off the line. We really appreciate you guys watching. This particular build was a lot of fun because we were able to basically put together a very practical setup for Ryan, and that is really what we enjoy doing here, is custom tailoring these builds for each individual's usage. So if you guys have any questions, how any of this works for your truck or anything like that, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy.